Tonight, the president's daughter and a high-ranking official stops in Duluth. The message she's spreading and the reaction from the community.
And round 4, Congress begins debating another COVID relief package, what it could have in it to help you financially.
Plus, as Minnesota masks up, Superior's mandate takes effect, becoming the latest city to require face coverings in public places.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. As election season ramps up, President Trump's advisor and daughter, Ivanka Trump, spent the day in Minnesota digging into a number of topics.
That includes manufacturing, as the president's advisor applauded Duluth PAC this morning on what she called an example of American manufacturing and hard work. Ivanka Trump, along with U.S. Secretary of the Interior David Bernhardt and Congressman Pete Stauber, visited the century-old manufacturer to watch the owners sign the Pledge to America's Workers initiative. President Donald Trump started the initiative 2 years ago. Its goal is to provide every American with an on-ramp opportunity and to ensure employers make commitments to their employees. Ivanka Trump says investment in the Pledge to America's Workers initiative is more important now than ever.
As so many people have been disconnected from the workforce, are experiencing tremendous vulnerability and fear.
She added so far more than 440 companies have signed the pledge. Ivanka Trump's visit today also caused some controversy.
Around 50 protesters gathered outside the event to voice their frustration with Duluth PAC's decision to host the president's advisor and daughter.
But as CBS3's John Cardinelli found out, the disappointment goes beyond those who showed up to protest.
Emotions were high Monday for protesters outside of Duluth PAC.
I'm probably not going to buy anything else from them.
That frustration stemming from the store's decision to host Ivanka Trump.
I don't support companies that support Trump.
Many in attendance Monday giving a variety of reasons for protesting, including the Trump administration's stance on mining projects, the missing and murdered Indigenous women's crisis, and more.
Ivanka Trump coming to Duluth, Minnesota. And if that's not enough for people to wake up and decide we either come to the community now or we allow what's going to happen.
But it wasn't only protesters who were sending a message on Monday.
Yesterday when I heard about the Trump administration coming to their factory, I was really taken aback and shocked.
Sarah Agaton House owns Heartberry, a business that manufactures products with Ojibwe designs. They had a partnership with Duluth PAC, but decided to break it after getting word of the visit.
But I feel like if there's any time that we're going to make a stand about what we believe in and what we value, now is the time. And so this is just what we have to do, what we think is right in our heart.
The decision to cut ties was a hard one for House, but it's something she says needed to be done, not just for the morals she aligns with her business, but in personal life too.
We use our Duluth PAC stuff to go outside, to go to the boundary waters, to enjoy the outdoors, and to us that doesn't seem in line in values at all with the policies of the Trump administration.
House says the rest of the Duluth PAC bags in her inventory will be donated to local nonprofits that deal with youth and those that are fighting to end homelessness. We asked Duluth PAC's owner to comment on the protests and negative feedback, but he declined, saying today is all about his workers. Meanwhile, Ivanka Trump also made a stop in Bloomington, Minnesota today. She took part in the grand opening of the first missing and murdered Native American cold case office. It's one of 7 planned offices. They're part of the president's 2019 executive order establishing a national missing and murdered Indigenous women task force. The office will review cold cases and better coordinate law enforcement resources. The Secretary of the Interior, who co-chairs the task force, says it's an effort to bring closure to families and combat the higher rates of violence Native women face.
In doing that, we're not only addressing the past, but a very important mission here is ensuring that we do things better in the future.
The visit was not without controversy. Minnesota State Representative Mary Kanesh Podine posted on Facebook calling it a dog and pony show. She says no one told the state's legislators or Native women who worked to establish Minnesota's missing and murdered Indigenous women task force. She said their voices were again not being acknowledged. And Dave joins us for a quick look at the weather. Hey Dave, how's it going?
Pretty well, Tony. How are you?
I'm good, I
All
suppose,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of us are doing pretty well now. The temperatures have come down a little bit,
Okay.
but more importantly, humidity levels have come down drastically. That makes a big difference because as we take a look at today's high temperatures, you know, it was still warmer than normal. Normal is 77, and a lot of places, including Superior, beat that by a couple of degrees. Tomorrow, though, I think most places are going to fall closer to the normal of 77. Will be cooler and drier pretty much for the week ahead. The chance for rain that we had here tonight's fading away pretty rapidly from that low pressure system of the past couple of days, and now higher pressure settling in to bring sunshine that I think will last all the way through Friday. Next rain chance may not get us until Saturday. Tuesday's day planner says it should be clear to partly cloudy all day long. Morning start of 57, daytime finish of 77. Any more warm weather coming our way for the week ahead? Any returns back towards the month-long heat wave we just shook off? I'll show you with the 7-day forecast in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Extended jobless benefits are about to run out for millions of Americans, and negotiations for another round of federal relief are now underway on Capitol Hill. Skylar Henry reports from Washington.
Lawmakers are hoping that a bipartisan deal can be reached quickly on another coronavirus relief bill.
I think this is a starting place.
With the pandemic showing no sign of ending, Republicans and Democrats agree that both businesses and workers will need more financial assistance. The question is, how much?
This is not a bailout. This is about keeping people attached to their employment.
Senate Republicans unveiled a series of proposals on Monday with a total cost of around $1 trillion. The HEALS Act would reduce emergency federal unemployment benefits from $600 a week to $200.
We want to continue to help the unemployed, but we want to encourage work. And we've learned a very tough lesson that when you pay people not to work, what do you expect?
Back in May, the Democrat-led House passed a $3 trillion relief bill.
We clearly do not have shared values. Having said that, we just want to see if we can find some common ground.
It's frustrating because they've dithered for 3 months and they're still trying to get their act together.
The GOP's proposal would also shield businesses from lawsuits stemming from the coronavirus. Both parties' bills call for sending another round of $1,200 checks to most taxpayers.
Congress previously allocated $3 trillion in coronavirus spending. Many of the programs it funded have already run out of money.
The pandemic has magnified the nation's digital divide, especially for those already struggling to make ends meet. Now, a Duluth apartment complex is able to offer more opportunity to its residents, many of whom struggle off and on with homelessness. Thanks to a grant from the Duluth Superior Community Foundation, the Steve O'Neill apartment complex on West 4th Street is now able to provide universal Wi-Fi access. Along with internet access, each apartment unit was provided a refurbished laptop. The complex includes 44 apartments for families that have struggled with homelessness.
The COVID pandemic really shed light on the fact that those living in poverty experience incredible inequities with education, health, and safety. And during the COVID pandemic, without having internet access, our children couldn't access their teachers or their online educational resources.
With this Wi-Fi access, the Steve O'Neill Apartments programming can now continue virtually.
Looking ahead, more than 1,000 people have already registered for St. Louis County's free COVID-19 testing sessions this week. The 2-day drive-through setup will be held at the county fairgrounds in Chisholm. You can stop by between noon and 7 p.m. tomorrow or 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Wednesday. You are not required to have symptoms to be tested, but you are encouraged to register in advance. Douglas County is also holding free testing events this week. You can stop by the Superior Middle School between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Wednesday. There's another testing event from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thursday at the Solon Springs Community Center.
Starting today, you will be required to wear a face mask while out and about in Superior. The City Council voted on the mandate last week. People will have to wear a mask while indoors, in public, and on public transit. The rule also states you have to wear them in bars and restaurants except when actively eating or drinking. The requirement will expire September 25th or when the city's state of emergency ends.
Let's take a look at the current confirmed COVID-19 case numbers around the tri-state region. In Minnesota, the total tops more than 51,000 cases with 861 new cases reported in the past day. The death toll now stands more than 1,600 people. In Wisconsin, today's total cases sit above 52,000, up 957 since yesterday, and the death toll stands at 901. And Michigan's UP is reporting 418 confirmed cases. 11 new cases were reported since Sunday. 18 people have died.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, what's life like living in the trees? Well, one Minnesota couple can show you. Literally, we'll take you there next.
Record high temp for this date, it's 94 degrees from 1894. Well, I think right now we've broken the back of the warm spell. If not broken its back, we sent it to the chiropractor. We'll be on the cooler side for a couple of days, and I'll talk about how long coming up in just a few more minutes.
I'm Carrie Harris, owner of Diabetic and Comfort Shoes. We have been in business in the Northland helping you with your everyday foot problems stemming from diabetes to plantar fasciitis for the past 17 years. Stop in and see the complete line of men's and women's shoes, from SAS to Allegria to Vionic, for those millions of people battling plantar fasciitis. And we still have a great selection of comfortable shoes for diabetics, Medicare and Minnesota healthcare approved. Remember, no foot problem is too big or too small. We'll find the way to your soul.
Shopping for a new kitchen at Skips has never been better. Take home your dream kitchen today with Skips' new Glenwood and White cabinets. Enjoy freedom and flexibility with your own movable island today. You can rely on Skips for quality and durability at affordable prices. Stop by with your measurements and see how you can take home beautifully painted or stained cabinets today at a truly affordable price. Visit us online at skipshomecenter.com or stop in to see our showroom at 4728 Rice Lake Road, Duluth.
Mediacom's fiber-powered broadband network was built for the future, and it's in your community. Delivering gigabit speeds to every home and business we serve. We'll be one of the first in the nation to take you to 10G, making your community one of the fastest in the world. The foundation is in place, and Mediacom will be making way for brilliant possibilities, igniting economic development and lighting up communities nationwide.
Things are slowly starting to get back to normal, but our fight against COVID-19 isn't over yet. St. Luke's and Essentia Health are asking for your help. Whenever you will be around others who do not live with you, please wear a mask. This will help to protect everyone in our community. Masking continues to be one of the best defenses against the virus. Masks make a difference. On behalf of Essentia Health and St. Luke's, thank you.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host.
That's a standing ovation.
Yeah. And the stars love it too.
You're so good.
America's Sweetheart is a hit and everything we love.
Oh my God! This is why we connect. Hey. You say y'all, I say y'all.
That's how you say it.
Hey. You're wrong.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on Live Local CBS 3.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS 3.
Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, thanks to higher pressure approaching here, a lot of towns had blue skies up aloft during the day, but once sunset started coming pretty close, we got the red sky popping up in places like Ely, and that old spouse's saying says, red sky at night, sailor's delight. Yeah, that usually does hold true. As the higher pressure continues to advance, it's just going to be fair weather until Friday. Next chance of rain, maybe a few more showers here and there tonight, nothing major. Next chance for rain, decent chance, might not come until Saturday or so. We'll fill in the holes of the in-between coming up here in just a bit. Right now, we got the current conditions at the airport in Duluth, 64 degrees to report. Relative humidity, 70%, westerly wind 8 miles per hour, and the air pressure, it's come up a millibar in the last 4 hours. So the trough of lower pressure with its showers is fading away, and the advancing pair of high pressure cells should then keep us on the sunny side of life for the rest of the work week here. Current temperature is 58 to 60 in the Upper Peninsula. We have 61 to 67 in northwestern Wisconsin, including 61 Hayward, 65 Ashland, 67 in Superior, 63 Moose Lake. Looking at 55 Grand Marais by the lake, 63 Ely, 61 Hibbing Chisholm, Grand Rapids and La Prairie, 68 degrees towards International Falls, Fort Francis, 62. Low temps tonight probably will fall into the 50s. And that'll be a pattern we get for several days coming up here. Lows in the 50s, daytime highs in the mid to upper 70s, which is where we're supposed to be here in the waning days of July. All right, big rains did come for Wisconsin over the weekend here. They didn't hit Minnesota as badly as expected, but Wisconsin indeed got them. And now the tail end of that system is still dragging through the region, and it brought showers to the Arrowhead and a little bit of action to Wisconsin and Michigan as well. But this should wrap up hopefully by midnight. It is sticking around, frankly, a little longer than I expected, but it should be shoved away as the high pressure systems come to call, indeed, to bring us these sunny conditions for the rest of this week. Come Saturday, low pressure system finally gets aboard here, but that one only brings perhaps a 30 to 40% chance of rain once we get towards Saturday. Could be gone as early as Sunday. Forecast here tonight, Minnesota low temps, they'll be in the 50s with, we'll call it a 30% rain chance here for a little while longer. 20% chance for Wisconsin, low temps 50s there as well. Then for tomorrow, clear to partly cloudy sky for Wisconsin and the UP. Highs will go 77 to 79, so you have three choices there, 77, 78, and 79. Kristen agrees. Into Minnesota, it's a wider range, 72 to about 79 degrees with a partly cloudy sky. And now here's the extended forecast. The highs dominate our skies all the way through Friday, and temperatures will be close to normal all week long as well, except for Friday when we could bust forth into the 80s one more time. I don't think our chances of 80s are gone now. August is still coming our way, but that month-long heat wave, it could be bent, if not broken.
Thanks, Dave. Well, have you ever thought about building a tree house and then living in it?
Yeah.
A northern Minnesota couple did exactly that, and then they took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, WCCO's John Lauritsen shows us how this dream house has become a destination for people across the state.
We had pure obsession in order to get it done. It was a fun obsession, you know. It was like a challenge, fun challenge.
Challenge, obsession, call it whatever you want. When the root of this idea took hold, Will and Peggy Lyon were determined to make it happen.
We ended up 12 years old. Because at 12, you know you could have built this. You could have done it, but your folks tell you this is the worst idea you've ever had.
Luckily, in this case, there was no parental supervision. The couple wrote the plan for their dream on a piece of paper and then began construction in the early 2000s.
We could have built a 3-bedroom home on the ground probably a lot easier. You know,
but why make it easy,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
One big advantage, they owned a sawmill at the time, so they had unlimited access to wood. They'd spend all day at their business, but couldn't wait to get home to work.
The interior framing is pine. In the interior walls because that was light, but most of this other stuff is oak and ash and all different species of hardwood.
There's air conditioning, heat, cable TV, everything including the kitchen sink. A ship's ladder leads up to the loft where a maple plank connects the bedrooms.
It's almost like a tree house inside of a tree house.
If you're complaining about this place, you're barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah.
Right? This is about as cool as it gets.
Yeah, that'd be the truth.
The wraparound deck is another cool feature. It's 14 feet off the ground. And in a true case of one man's trash is another man's treasure, the Lions have used their share of repurposed wood, especially for the railings.
We made several trips to Lake Superior, brought back driftwood, and
Lake Superior just happened to be interesting and free.
The couple actually lived in their Swiss Family Robinson-style house for 3.5 years. When their daughter moved back home, they needed more space, so they made it available to others.
I said, there's a piece about it. I hear that all the time.
After Wadena was hit by a devastating tornado in 2010, Will and Peggy decided to build a shelter nearby to keep visitors safe. Once again, there's a signature plank that connects rooms.
It's something that got way out of hand, just like the treehouse. It was meant just to be the storm shelter and then began to grow.
Much like their dream of a treehouse for adults. There's a joy in creating. There's a bigger joy in watching others enjoy what you've created.
I've absolutely loved everybody that come. By the time they leave, they feel like family. Still connects, I think, back to being young and believing that anything's possible before you grow up.
Well, the lines are booked until November, but they are currently taking reservations for next year.
Still to come on Live Local CBS3, the late John Lewis has his final trip through Washington today. We'll have the details as mourners gather to pay their respects.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. The TED event is happening now, where you're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV. Well, I get tons of HD. Spectrum has tons of HD. And we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals. I don't have that. Plus, sometimes in the rain, our services go out. Because of the dish on your roof?
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-916-4499.
And Spectrum Internet starts at 100 megabits with no data caps and a free modem. We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel. Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours. That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-916-4499.
At Super One Foods, you'll find more than just low prices and better choices. You'll find friendly faces like ours, working hard to save you money.
Super One has a tireless commitment to quality and freshness and a goal of delivering 5-star service to every customer to bring the absolute best value to your shopping experience. Check out these specials available at all Super One locations going on now.
So stop into the Super One Foods right in your neighborhood. Super One Foods, serving you low prices and better choices.
If you want to begin your college education close to home and at an affordable price, consider Mesabi Range College this fall. Mesabi Range College offers the first 2 years of a 4-year degree, or we have several career and technical programs, including evening and online programs that will get you into the workforce fast. Stay home, stay safe, and save money at Mesabi Range College. Fall semester begins on August 24th, 2020. Find us online at mesabirange.edu.
This thing is really dusty.
Summer is here with Crestliner at RJ Sport and Cycle.
Classic Rock KQ is once again the Northland's #1 radio station. The KQ Morning Show, the most listened to radio program in the Northland. The KQ Trainwreck, the Northland's #1 afternoon show. Thank you for making us the Northland's #1 radio station. 95 KQDS.
Mourners are lining up at the U.S. Capitol to pay respects to Congressman John Lewis, who now lies in state outside the building.
The civil rights icon passed away at the age of 80 from pancreatic cancer. Members of the U.S. military carried the flag-draped coffin of the late congressman from plane to hearse before he began his final journey through Washington today. Congressman Lewis will lie in state at the Capitol until Tuesday night. He served there for more than 3 decades, and colleagues called him the conscience of Congress.
Mourners gathered to pay their respects, including former Vice President and presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden and his wife Jill, Supreme Court justices, administration members, and Vice President Mike Pence. Coming up in sports, the Milwaukee Brewers season charges on. We have the highlights coming up next.
Let our professional relocation team help make the transition from your old house into a new home as stress-free as possible. Call today for an on-site estimate to identify your family's specific relocation needs. Schedule and manage your job with one of our friendly office staff. The day of the job, our professional and courteous movers will safely and efficiently protect and transport your goods with the aid of new technologies and equipment, but with the same old-fashioned service you know and trust.
Moving is hard. Calling A1 Movers is easy.
This summer, it's time to get back outdoors. Your Honda dealer is open and ready to get you into a new Honda today. Enjoy the sunshine in the family-friendly Pilot or the rugged Passport. Visit the Honda Summer Clearance Event and get a great deal from Honda, KBB.com's 2020 Best Value Brand. Get a great deal on the Pilot at the Honda Summer Clearance Event today.
If 2020 teaches us anything, it's that our public schools, our educators are indispensable, providing childcare for workers on the front lines, preparing meals for hungry families, and, above all, inspiring our students to reach for greatness. Believe in We Minnesota, electing lawmakers who will invest in, not cut, this essential resource.
Helping to make memories for generations. Numi Jewelers.
When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm.
For up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Stay away from here.
Live local weather coverage on CBS3 Duluth.
Duluth's downtown waterfront district is the heart of our community. So many of the things we love about Duluth can be found right here, from businesses to attractions. And now, most of them are open and working hard so you can safely enjoy them. Our local restaurants, breweries, shops, salons, and attractions help weave the unique fabric of our community. They make us stand out. And when you support them, your dollars stay in our community, helping to boost our economy. Show your love for Duluth's local businesses. We can't wait to see you.
When news happens, CBS3 is there. We're cutting in with a follow-up to some breaking news.
Anytime, day or night, more cases of the coronavirus are popping up across the Northland.
The only confirmed cases in northeastern Minnesota.
Not go shopping today unless you absolutely must. Do not collect any supplies or equipment unless you absolutely need it today.
The Northland has seen its first coronavirus-related death.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, tune to CBS3.
The Twins had a day off today, but the Milwaukee Brewers went on as scheduled against the Pirates, a team they handled pretty well last season, boasting an active winning streak of 6 games against the Pirates. Forecast suggesting some rain, and rain there was. The staff brings out the tarp. The delay would only last about an hour and a half. Pittsburgh makes up for lost time. Colin Moore, the very first batter since the delay, takes it the distance to put the Pirates up 1-0. They'd go on to get a few more in the span of till now. In the top of the ninth, it's 5-1 Pittsburgh. And just weekend into the shortened MLB season, an outbreak of COVID-19 has hit the clubhouse of a big league club. The Miami Marlins home opener was canceled tonight after a reported 14 players and staff members tested positive for the virus. The Marlins finished up their series in Philly on Sunday. The Athletic reports that 7 out of the 14 positive tests were players. Major League Baseball returned to play just 4 days ago. The Marlins were scheduled to play in Miami against the Baltimore Orioles tonight. But due to the situation, the Philadelphia Phillies home game against the New York Yankees was postponed as well. The Minnesota Vikings head athletic trainer, vice president of sports medicine, and infection control officer Eric Sugarman has tested positive for COVID-19, according to a statement released earlier from the team. The team sent out a news release saying that Sugarman and members of his family tested positive for the virus over this past weekend. Sugarman said he and his family immediately quarantined after they tested and issued a statement saying, "At this time, we are all doing fine and experiencing only mild symptoms." The Vikings have sanitized the facility and notified any personnel who may have had close contact with Sugarman. According to the news release, those people have been tested as well. The team said Sugarman has not had close contact with players recently, and no other cases have been identified in the Vikings front office. He will continue to fulfill his role as much as possible virtually, according to the team. And as other training camps for all 32 NFL teams are getting underway this week, the league just announced there will be no preseason games this year, confirmed by NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, who says the coronavirus pandemic has changed the 2020 football season and how it's handled. Aside from no preseason games, players and coaches will be tested for the virus every day for a while. There will be health and safety protocols for everyone in the environment. And other sports leagues have started playing again since the pandemic began, such as the NBA finishing its season by keeping its players in a bubble in Orlando and the NHL in bubble cities in Canada. Well, from player to coach, UMD alum Zoe Hickel is going to join the ranks as an assistant coach in the WCHA, but she will coach against her former team this coming year. Hickel has been named an assistant coach at Ohio State for the women's hockey program there. Hickel served as a 2-year captain for the Bulldogs in her 2011 to 2015 collegiate career. Not only did she lead the Bulldogs in scoring, but she was also named a finalist for the Hockey Humanitarian Award in 2015. And many colleges and conferences have announced their intentions to readjust schedules or even cancel their fall sports seasons. And earlier today, as a collective conference for the first time, the NSIC announced some big changes coming to their seasons. The conference will be pushing back the start date of fall sports as the board of directors unanimously approved a plan to move forward. This includes all of UMD athletics other than the men's and women's hockey teams, as they do not fall under the NSIC bubble. The opening of football and cross-country practice will now be moved to September 2nd, with games beginning on September 26th. Women's volleyball and soccer practice has been pushed to September 8th, with competitions beginning on October 2nd. That's going to do it for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Pharmacies, keeping things safe, simple, and convenient through mail, local delivery, drive-through, and curbside pickup services.
Hello, Northland. It's good to see you.
During this time, staying healthy might look a little bit different.
But we're still here to care for you.
St. Luke's now offers new ways for you to see us.
Like telehealth video visits, which is how I'm talking to you right now.
If you do need to be seen in person, you can rest assured
we are keeping our clinics and hospitals clean and safe.
If you have any questions
or want to make an appointment,
give us a call.
We'll be happy to help.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how. With the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit. And if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get great deals across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise. For a limited time, get $6,000 total cash on an F-150. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer today.
Join the Greater Downtown Council for Movies in the Parking Lot. Friday nights all summer long. Watch movies from the comfort of your vehicle. Reserve your $10 parking spot ahead of time at downtownduluth.com/events/movies in the park. Present your digital ticket at the gate and enjoy. Bring your own food or have snacks from the concession stands. Here's what's playing this week. Presented by Carlson Orthodontics and live local CBS3. When news breaks, be the first to know with CBS3. Alerting you with our mobile app, taking you live to the scene.
A lot of protesters walking.
Bringing you complete coverage on air. Showing you what's happening now, what's next, how it affects you.
There's a massive fire. We have a crew there live
Focused
now.
on urgency. Focused on accuracy. When news breaks in your neighborhood, be the first to know. With live, local CBS3.
Dude! You gonna pick that up? Because there's no poop fairy to do that for you. See? Take these. They're not just poop bags. They're pride bags. Because you're doing the right thing for your neighbors and for the health of the whole watershed. Gotta fly. There's a Chihuahua cranking one out in Leicester right now. There is no poop fairy.
Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men. Mainstream is your wedding headquarters. Downtown Duluth.
We'll leave you tonight with an adorable video of a mama bear and her cubs over in Superior.
Yeah, this video was sent to us by Dave Johnson. He says he saw the very cute family.
Can't resist that one.
I can't. On Millennium Trail in the Billings Park neighborhood in Superior. Dave told us he saw 4 bear cubs with their mom crossing the trail earlier this evening. Thankfully for all of us, he was able to capture the cuteness on camera.
Positively perfect.
Oh,
Yeah,
another
sorry.
good one. So many puns.
Yeah. Speaking of perfect forecasts, or perfect things, perfect forecast on tap, huh, Dave?
Yeah, at least for us humans, it's going to be cooler and a little less humid. I'm starting to think the heat wave was good for bears because there's a family of about 4 that likes to raid my back deck
Oh, boy.
fairly often and create a little bit of a ruckus overnight. Hasn't discovered the beehive yet, though, luckily, so that's a good thing. For the week ahead here, high pressure taking over brings us sunshine and near normal temperatures through Friday. Then we go one day only, perhaps Friday into Saturday, with a little warmer than normal and our next rain chance.
All right, thanks for joining us.
We'll see you again tomorrow night. Have a great night.